But anarchism is not socialism, of course, and I think we have to make a very important distinction here. The experience of socialism during the 20th century, of course, was symbolized by the disastrous totalitarian regimes that one found in Eastern Europe and the Soviet Union, which had very little to do with the original conception of socialism, and certainly very little to do with Marx's original conception of communism, which, if we read Marx properly, was actually very close to anarchism. So Marx, for instance, defined or characterized communism as a society without a state, a society in which state power had withered away or had been transcended. It was a society of free association where one could get to explore one's human subjectivity in the fullest sense. So I think it's quite misleading to talk about socialism in that sense and to look at the experience of the 20th century and to understand the sort of the statist bureaucratic totalitarian structures as socialism as such, even though they obviously drew on certain elements of socialism and Marxism. And it's even more misleading to point to the experience of actually what's known as actually existing socialism, or so-called socialism, and to sort of associate that with anarchism. Anarchism, of course, even though it's related to socialism, is also quite different. And I think probably the most important aspect of anarchism is its very radical critique of what it saw as some of the more authoritarian aspects of socialist thought. So, no, I don't think the 20th century really tells us anything about... I don't think the 20th century experience of socialism really tells us much at all about anarchism, other than simply pointing out some of the disastrous mistakes that were made by the Marxist-Leninists.